things again.
Oh. Alright. Let's show us what's in the box. Top secret.
First one is for Grizz.
Oh.
What?
Hang on. What do we got?
Keep going, though, man. You're doing good. Yes! Dude, you punched the
Yes,
dude, man.
Holy fucking shit!
So good. Yo, Captain Pear.
I didn't know what was going on there.
Man. Fucking got him.
Fucking got him, dude. Holy shit.
Dude, good game. Fucking good game. Are you ready? I knew it!
Cap, look at my fish.
Oh, wow.
My little bite.
Ready?
Bitch.
Always steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal my kisses from you. Oh. Alright. Let's show us what's in the box. Top secret.
First one is for Grizz.
Oh.
What?
Hang on. What do we got?
Keep going, though, man. You're doing good. Yes! Dude, you punched the dude, man.
Holy fucking shit!
So good. Yo, Captain Pear.
I didn't know what was going on there.
Man. Fucking got him.
Fucking got him, dude. Holy shit.
Dude, good game. Fucking good game. Are you ready? I knew it!
Cap, look at my fish.
Oh, wow.
My little bite.
Ready?
Bitch.
Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal my kisses from you. Oh. Alright. Let's show us what's in the box. Top secret.
First one is for Grizz.
Oh.
What?
Hang on. What do we got?
Keep going, though, man. You're doing good. Yes! Dude, you punched the dude, man.
Holy fucking shit!
So good. Yo, Captain Pear.
I didn't know what was going on there.
Man. Fucking got him.
Fucking got him, dude. Holy shit.
Dude, good game. Fucking good game. Are you ready? I knew it!
Cap, look at my fish.
Oh, wow.
My little bite.
Ready?
Bitch.
Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from Always have to still know this is from you.
I got two things here.
Oh. All right. Let's
Okay.
show us what's in the box. Top secret.
First one is for Grizz.
Oh.
What?
Hang on. What do we got? Ah!
Keep going, though, man. You're doing good. Yes! Dude, you touched the fuck out of it.
We're live.
Anyway, that's don't fucking tell the OGRs the business opportunity. Business opportunity. Have we got anyone in chat? Who's in chat? Hello,
sorry.
chatters.
Patreon subscribers get a 200 shares in Grizz's business idea.
Yeah.
Gonna be worth big bucks,
Huge bucks. Yeah.
big fucking
Huge.
dollars. Gonna be worth fucking huge fucking dollars.
Oi, Moosey,
And
Soapy,
Lucy, Soap, Tesla.
Panda. Fuck,
Where the fuck are we?
Bunch of-
Fuck are
bunch
we?
of legends up in here.
Oh.
Seen Panda on Friday. Oh, dude, Panda and Temu took me home on Friday night
Aw.
because I
Those
got
poor
fucking real.
souls.
Dude, I got real pissed at a gig because we had a gig there the following night, and I thought I'd just catch the train home. Well, the trains stop running, don't they, after 12 p.m. on the Mandurah line because it's on maintenance.
Classic.
So
I thought, okay. I thought, yeah. Wait,
Oh,
after 10 p.m.
no. It was after 1 p.m. actually. It was when we were sitting in the kebab shop, and I went and checked.
You mean
So,
1 a.m.?
1
Yeah,
a.m.
fucking-
Yeah, 1 a.m. Yeah, 1 a.m.
I'm doing
Yeah.
fucking bit of a fucking Jaden Smith right now. I'm just like, where am I? What the fuck is going on?
Good.
Hey, Jim.
Have we got a poll? G'day, Jim.
No, we fucking forgot to do the polling.
Oh no.
Oh my god. Typical. Um,
I have been so bloody busy.
Who has the best beard? Pav, Cap, or Grizz? Let's do it.
That's just unfair.
Yeah, Cap's got that one in the bag, surely. But we need to boost his. morale
Yeah, after last week,
that.
yeah,
that's
last week
fair.
I got,
You give it to
I got
him.
shitted on. I got fucking shitted on.
Do you want to chuck a photo with it?
Oh, you want to do that? You want to do
Yeah.
that? I've already. Yeah, I can do it. Yeah, you want to do it?
That way it acts as our promotion for We're Live now as well.
Okay.
I have done one of those, but you know, fucking do it.
Can you do a poll and a photo in the same tweet?
Yeah,
That's
go
my
on, may
question.
as
I
well.
think
Probably.
so. Yeah.
I don't know if you can. Can you?
One way to find
Sweet,
out.
man.
One bloody way to find out.
You cannot. I'll do it in the comment after the poll.
Okay, good
Yeah.
plan.
Wow, you were a fucking problem solver.
Fucking hell. Sure am.
Oh dear. Oh, by the way, fellas, probably not sure if I should leave this for the actual episode. We might not have time anyway. But Stream Perth meetup this Saturday. I know you're
This Saturday.
Yeah, I know
Cap and
you
I playing
Grizz,
magic cards.
I know you guys are busy, but
Yeah. Sorry.
now I know. I didn't know that before, but
I didn't realize it was this fucking weekend, Pap. I'm gonna be honest, mate. My Discord presence is this many out of 10.
it's okay.
Well,
I
mine's always
wasn't
been
expecting
fucking
any
terrible,
present.
mate,
But I was meaning to mention it to you guys last week, but I forgot. I was knackered.
No, that's my bad, mate.
Nah, it's all good.
Photo.
So I blame
Comment.
Fun.
blame
Good
Jim
one,
in chat.
I actually was intending on
Jim,
blaming Jim.
normally
It
reminds
was
me of
his
these
job
things.
to let you
Yeah,
know.
that's 100% Jim's. Fuck. Cap's even touching his beard in this photo too, so
Oh, excellent.
I think we might be fucking
Fucking want me.
but
Don't worry, Jim,
we'll
you had to
have
be
a
there.
crack anyway.
Fucking got him. All right, let's start this podcast. We're 10 minutes late.
Yeah, let's do it. Starting timer.
Yep.
Oh,
Ready?
Fuck, I need to click the record button. Give me,
That's
give
the
me,
poll.
give me
Twitch
5 more
chatters,
seconds. 5
Get
more
in
seconds.
there.
It's
Yeah.
polling.
All right,
That's a poll.
we're live in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, bloody g'day and bloody welcome to this bloody podcast. How you freaking doing? Great to have you Thanks for joining us. This is the OGR Oceanic Gaming Radio Podcast, the one and the only, featuring myself, Captain Perth, Grizzly Gaming, and Pavloverface. Episode 50. We've done a freaking 50 of these, boys.
Boy, half a century.
Shit, yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Bloody
well
huge.
done, fellas. Well done. We've had a few, what do you call them? Hiatuses here and there, but for the most part, I think we've done a pretty good job. It's probably one of the few things in my life that I've been pretty consistent with, apart from my relationship with my loving wife.
Did you guys think we
squeeze that
would
one in
make it to 50 episodes? I'm going to be honest. Did
Not
you
a chance.
think that would
Not,
happen?
not a chance at all.
Do you know what? I thought absolutely.
Did you? Yeah. I was pretty
I actually
confident.
thought, right, I thought if we can just get like 10 episodes done, I think it'll fucking just keep going.
It's part of the weekly, like, I definitely missed it when we're on hiatus. Just having a chance to just talk shop with you boys about video games for sure. Like, I'd see a snippet of news and I'd be like, yes, well, I can't wait to talk about that. And then it's like, oh, we need to wait now. Like, those little hiatuses, they definitely.
Yeah, they get you. I don't know. I'm the same, mate. I kind of feel like this is especially at the moment with having a bub and not having an awful lot of gaming time myself. It's kind of a nice way to keep my finger on the pulse with not that I'm forced to do it, but obviously I have to research and do some shit towards the podcast each week. So it gives me a reason to kind of do that research and have a bit of a squiz of what's been happening in the gaming world,
Completely unplanned, and this isn't in the run sheet, but out of the 50 episodes, boys, what has been one highlight, do you think?
Oh, man.
We've had. I still think the thing where Pav organizes merch and comes and first pulls the finger at me when he goes to show me the merch. This one's for you, Grizz, but then pulls out this hat that is just absolutely butchered the OGR logo on it. I thought that was a real...
Yeah, because, okay, so for everyone listening at home who didn't hear that episode, Pav did a test print with like some random fucking streamer swag fucking thing. And yeah, basically got a test print of an OGR snapback, and the colours were absolutely fucked.
Have you still got that hat, Pav? I'd still wear it, mate, if it's floating around.
Dude, we should auction that. That shit will go for fucking big bucks.
It is on our
Black
secret
Lotus
store.
Magic card went for, what was it, 550,000, mate?
Really? Is that right?
Mate, that OGR hat has to be worth at least $1 million.
Mil. Easy. Okay, then
Easy.
I'll take
like, it's even rarer than the Black Lotus. It's literally the fucking first test print of the OGR snapback.
Any other memorable moments from you, gentlemen, apart from the old
Dude,
merchandise
it is
snapback?
fucking DJ Francesco.
Yes,
the fucking moment that happened on stream was just so unbelievable. I honestly thought I was having a stroke. I didn't know what was happening.
That is very true. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a ripper.
It was up there.
Have you got any highlights?
I'm still dreading the day Frank finds out about that. I'm dreading.
He doesn't have to. Okay, we keep this a little secret between all of us and our listeners, and DJ Francesco never knows that we've stolen his IP. Okay,
This is.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be
look,
fine.
It's a matter of time. Easily my favorite moment was the reveal that Cap was is going to be a dad, and now you very well are.
Point.
Yeah,
Which was
that.
was an incredible moment.
I tell you what, that was cool delivering that news to you guys, having no fucking idea.
Yeah.
What I was about to say. That was fucking cool. That was
Out
good
of the
fun.
blue. Out of the blue,
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, I was not
Really
expecting
good
it.
fun. But there you go. So yeah, look, everyone listening, thanks for sticking around for 50 episodes, or if you only recently joined us, thanks for hanging around this long. And yeah, here's to another 50 and another 50 beyond that. So we thoroughly enjoy making these bad boys. So yeah, I mean, I'm just going to quickly turn this into the fucking tell people about us, fucking spiel, okay? Just do it. Just tell someone. All right, I don't give a shit how you do it. Just do it. You guys are smart. You guys know how social media and stuff works. Proliferate the podcast, and hopefully, yeah, maybe the next 50 episodes we'll freaking, I don't know, have 2 more Patreons.
We've done all right. We've done all right, boys. Yeah, I've got a couple of Patreons
never
in
know.
there. And thank you to the Patreons, Cap. What legends they are.
Yeah, absolutely. As always, thank you You freaking legends. We'll get to the thanking them properly in a second. But anyways, I want to know how everyone's weekends was. Pav, what did you get up to, mate?
I had a beautiful weekend. I had almost no plans. I wandered around the house. I did all of my housework. I cleared out the future podcast room. I had one storage room for a while, and I've started building the a set for some future IRL.
That's cool, Pav.
Content for when you guys come over.
Did you do any streams from twitch.tv/Pavloverface?
That was what was at the cost of my very productive weekend. So no streams, but I got a giant amount done. It was fantastic.
Still, it's nice to tick some like to do
every single thing
lists off, right? Or items off your to do list. Well, Grizz, what about you, mate?
My life has been extremely hectic lately, Cap, and I was having this discussion with my wife. They're all things that I planned, fun things, but it just has left me with no time. But on the weekend, we obviously St. Paddy's Day on the weekend, and if you are Irish, then happy St. Paddy's Day weekend just been to you.
My nan's birthday as well.
Was it your nan's birthday, Cap? There you go. Do you have any Irish in your bloodline, Cap?
Yeah, I think it's. I did an ancestry thing a while back, and I think Irish was 11%, Scottish was like 20 to 5% or something like that.
I'd love to do that on mine because
good fun, mate.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
All you're doing is selling your genetic data to some fucking random, conglomerate. But who gives a shit?
How do they actually do it? What's the process? They give you a blood
spit
test
in a tube, and then you seal it and send it to them, which is fucking gross.
Is that actually what happens?
That's literally what you do. You do a big fucking guzzy into a test.
That's pretty interesting, man. I'd actually be interested to see what mine would come back with. Because, I mean, my mum's Kiwi, and I know that her parents were English and Scottish and stuff. And then my dad is Austrian, but, like, a lot of people say that they reckon I look Italian, and I've got, like, quite dark skin. And where my dad is from in Austria, it's quite close to the Italian border. But, yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to know.
There was a lot of, migration and stuff through that corridor in the olden days. So, I mean, you could have all kinds of shit going on in your bloodstream, mate. Apart from alcohol. So
yeah. But anyway, Cap. Two shows on the weekend. Both very late nights. On the Friday night, I actually decided to celebrate a little bit myself because I didn't have to pack my drums up after the gig. I left them there because we're playing the same venue the next night. So had myself a couple of old fashions and couple of pints of Guinness and you name it, mate. It was great.
What's in the old fashioned again? It's bourbon and
the old fashioned is a bourbon cocktail, and it basically has no mixer. It's kind of bourbon, sugar syrup, some orange rind, and a big block of ice. But you got to have the big block. You got to have the big block of ice. You would need a good quality bourbon as well. It's actually my drink of choice. I really like it because it's simplistic. It's just nice tasting. Just bitters. That reminds me. Yeah, some bitters. Yep.
When we first, the first time that we all sat down and came up with this podcast was at your birthday party, and we had salted caramel old fashions.
We did too.
There's another little hot tip for the episode 50. Good. The inception of this podcast.
You know what would be great to show the listeners at some point is our mind map, if we still have it, of all the different names that we had for this podcast. Because there was a lot.
Do we have that still?
Pav's got it, I think. Do you, Pav?
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's somewhere.
We had some fucking shockers in there from memory. Like some absolute fucking shockers.
Yeah, we did. But it would be interesting to pull that back out and have a look at some of the ones we had on there.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
I got it right here.
Fuck yeah. Well, we might post that on Twitter. So if you're not following us on Twitter, twitter.com/OGR show, I believe.
There's about 100 names here.
100? Holy shit.
I'll
see if we can turn it into like a easy graphic or something. You know those ones where you see like the big words and stuff. You see, anyway. I'll see if I can do something with it. But,
we'll do a tier list and then of our favorites.
Yeah, tier list of the names. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea for a fun stream.
I think Oceanic Game Radio, was obviously because we picked it, was the best of the bunch. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure we had a short list of a couple there that we thought were okay. Potentially, can't remember.
What's one absolute shocker on that list? Just quick glance right now, Pav.
Or quick glance.
Dog shit. Names
we had RTS, real tinnies something.
What is it? Real tinnies? What?
Yeah, I think we were talking about like drinking on the podcast. They were like, let's have titties everywhere.
Fucking God.
Real titties something because we couldn't think of something for the S.
Thank God we didn't do that.
Real titty
Real
sucking.
titties sucking,
Yeah,
yeah.
fucking lock that one in.
Yeah, we're going to change
Love
the
it.
name to that. I like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a great podcast name. But yeah, well, anything else?
Enough
Chris,
about
on the
me.
thing?
No, mate. I think that's pretty much it, mate.
Oh yeah.
We've got another show this weekend, Friday night. So we've got a jam for that, and then that's mate. Just living the dream, playing D&D, playing music, a little bit of gaming here and there, a podcast, and work. That's pretty much my.
That's a lot,
my
dude.
life.
You also have
Yeah.
kids and a family time in there as well. I just don't.
Squeeze it all in
have,
there, baby.
I have that too, and I barely have time for anything else.
Yeah, but you've got, man, it gets a lot easier. You've got like a newborn, I understand. Just, I know that you wanted to leave the house, right? You've got to fucking pack a bag with nappies. You need a pram.
yeah.
You need
Can't
to make
just
sure
go.
you've got food and bottles and whatever else.
Yeah.
It's just like, everything's hard.
Yeah.
Whereas at least
Yeah.
with my crew, I can literally just jump in a car and presuming they've got their shoes on, and that's pretty much it. And then off you go.
I can't wait for that. It's gonna be great.
Good. Kat, what about
But
you,
yeah.
mate? What's been happening in your world?
Well, look, haven't done an awful lot. Friday, caught up with some friends at a pub. We've just pushed Ted's bedtime back a bit, which has kind of opened up our social horizons, which has been great. But he's also started daycare recently, and since he's started daycare, he's become a bit like easier to manage in his wakeful periods. But I think he's also just getting older. Get a bit easier. But
What time's he waking up in the morning, Cap? What time's he early riser?
six-ish.
6-ish, right.
Yeah, so he tends to
Pretty good.
need a dummy at any time between 3 and 4 o'clock, and then he's pretty much, we bring him into bed about 5:30, and then he's awake by 6:15ish. So yeah, he's not sleeping too bad really. Like he goes to bed at 8:30, and then we get that. So, but it's just baby's baby. But yeah, what was I going to say? So anyways, he's been really good recently. So we've kind of extended his bedtime a little bit, and he's staying awake for longer periods now. And so Friday we caught up with some mates at a little pub down the road from us, and then Saturday, what the fuck did we do Saturday? Can't remember. Can't have been that important. But anyways, we did something. And then Sunday, went and saw my youngest cousin's sports carnival thing where he's running for state and stuff. And he did a pretty good job there. And then
Did he,
Sunday,
did he
just
win?
cruised.
Get some
I
medals?
didn't win, but he had a bloody good run. He came fourth,
Very good.
and in state. I mean, that's not
that's,
bad, mate.
that's very impressive. Yeah. Yeah.
So I was
absolutely.
like, you fucking little ripper. So yeah, he did a really good job. But yeah, other than that, not an awful lot. So, but yeah, just been trying to kind of catch some chill out time, chill out time where I can. So, I still feel like I'm catching up since going to NZ.
It gets you, doesn't it, mate? When you're our age and you throw a spanner in the works in the old sleep cycle, etc., and maybe
big time.
a couple of beers, fuck.
Yeah,
Gets ya.
absolutely, mate. So, and I in all honesty, I reckon we were on the piss just about every night. So,
Yeah.
I haven't done that kind of shit since Ted was born. So, I'm a bit out of fucking practice. So, but yeah. So anyway, still catching up and just trying to catch some shut eye where I can. So, but it's been good. So, but yeah, enough about me, enough about us. Let's fucking jump into the podcast. Firstly, as I said before, thank you to everyone for sticking by us for 50 freaking episodes. Bloody appreciate you guys immensely. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. If you are, drop a fucking review on the podcast. That's what you can do. Go and drop a big 5 stars on whatever podcasting platform you listen to us via. So that would be great. And a nice little comment about something about the podcast. That'd be really cool. But yeah, what else can you do? Well, you can become a Patreon if you like, if you really want to spend some cash and put your money where your mouth is, so to speak. And put a bit of money towards the podcast. You can pay, I think, what is it, $5 monthly or some shit?
Yeah, that's the bottom tier. Yeah, $5 a month. Yeah.
Yeah, about that. So, anyways, you can join the bottom tier but also be part of the top tier. And of those people currently, we have the following: Sukai, Moosey, Caging Runt, Sergeant Paul, Lee G, DJ Libs, Brendan, and Dan Fantastic. Guys, thank you so much for your continued support. You guys bloody rock. And here's to another 50 episodes worth of your patronage. Appreciate you big time.
Now, Cap,
yeah.
we've actually done something with the Patreon dollars, haven't we, mate? And you might notice it in this here podcast tonight.
Actually have. I'm glad you reminded me because I fucking forgot. And I'm the one that needs to do it. So I'm glad you reminded me. But so there you go. Now, big show tonight. Obviously, we've got the quest log. How's your gaming gun? We don't have an OGR poll, but don't worry. We'll do something and rapid fire as always. But anyways, let's get started with the quest log. Yeah, that's right. We got fucking podcast stingers, baby. We put your well-spent dollars towards getting some audio stingers. So
that stinger really makes me want to go on a mighty quest there.
Well, we're about to embark on such a quest.
Let's do it.
Okay. So freaking put your chainmail on, Grizz, and tighten your suspenders. We're about to jump straight in. A lot of stuff happening on the quest log today. Bit of stuff about Redfall, Fortnite, Square Enix releasing some information about their recent year-on-year growth, etc. And some more information from Bleak Faith. So we'll tell you all about it. But firstly, before we do anything, just want to... so last week, we unfortunately lost Lance Reddick, a incredible actor. Lance Reddick voiced a great many characters and was acted in a great many movies. But you probably know him best for his work in Destiny 2, perhaps, where he played Zavala, the leader of the Vanguard. You might also know him from John Wick. You may know him from... He was also in Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, actually.
Yep.
So... but we unfortunately lost.
I'm sure if you heard his voice, you would go, "Oh!"
You would know absolutely who he is. He was also on The Wire. If you're a TV watcher and you kind of your things about TV shows and stuffs. But yeah, look, Lance Reddick was an incredibly talented actor and a very well versed gaming, guy. He did a bunch of shit. So obviously our condolences to his family. Unfortunately passed away very suddenly at the young age of 60, which is a terrible loss. So, but
we saw some tributes come out. Cap, there was a statement from Bungie, basically, the condolences to the family, and a nice little statement from them. And I also saw on some Twitter posts that people were gathering around in Destiny 2 in the main hub there. Around Zavala and doing different poses and things in there to mourn his passing. So pretty sad, but
it's nice when the gaming community can sort of come together in a way like this rather than a negative one. Obviously the circumstances really suck, but it's nice to see everyone kind of using I think it was the Shield of Humanity emote in front of Zavala. Which,
is that
really
is that
nice
the one?
touch.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So rest in peace, Lance. So there you go. Moving along, we've got now, Grizz.
Yes.
You're gonna be playing some freaking Redfall when it comes out on May 2nd.
Dude, I actually reckon Redfall with this second trailer that we saw, Cap. I know that you weren't too convinced in the first one, so I'll be keen to hear your opinions. But basically, if you didn't see the trailer has come out. This was a really story-driven trailer, this particular one, and we found out some more about the Redfall universe. It seems to be, I guess, the origins, the story. It's kind of like a scientific background where basically they had this person that they were trying to extract some of her blood. Patient Zero, where they said it could heal people and have all these magical benefits. The blood ended up turning these people into immortal vampires, Cap, and scourging the land with vampires and other bits and things. Yep. So
it kind of looks like they've set up all the main bosses for the campaign, I guess. Yeah. Which they seem to be the scientists that were involved with, essentially starting off the events that lead to Redfall. And I think because they basically give everyone like a different name. I think one was like fucking Red red man or some shit, and there was like
some moon
the
one
shadow
as well.
yeah, and then the black sun, and then
That's it. That's right.
I'm pretty sure the black sun is probably Patient Zero, and she sounds very angry with the fact that she was used in this way. So yeah,
They kind of had the throwaway line saying, "God's created by science, but how do we stop them?" I actually thought it was quite
with
well done.
science.
Yes,
Probably.
and you kind of see like you saw a bit more about the environments. And I assume, can only assume that the environments will be tied to the different leaders, maybe different kind of discrete zones, and then you work your way to these bosses. But I actually thought the zones themselves looked fantastic, and shout out to the studio. And I mean, they did games such as Deathloop and Dishonored Cat, but I thought they looked quite stylized in that perspective.
It's quite a jump from their usual kind of, I guess art style. Tends to be a little bit more drab and maybe washed out. I'm going to use that word.
Yeah.
So it is quite a different, I don't know, avenue, I guess, in terms of art for them, and going a bit more kind of that stylized, very bloody. I mean, and not that the other games haven't been bloody, but
you know what it reminded me of, Cat, a little bit. I almost thought it reminded me of a cartoony Fortnite, but more.
Yeah,
dark,
do you know what? Actually, now you
brutal.
mention it. Yeah, maybe Fortnite with the violence turned up a notch. And it not being aimed for children.
And now, I find that quite appealing. I thought that was quite nice, and the gunplay that we saw in that trailer as well, I thought looked very quite good. We saw some more footage. Obviously, the gunplay. We see uses of sniper rifles and SMGs and shotguns and things like that, and it does look very tight. It looks like quite a good shooter. At this stage, and
are you getting Far Cry vibes?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, I did kind of feel Far Cry.
I think the structure looks very much like a Far Cry game. I'm just hoping that the only thing I think for me, Far Cry is a bit of a red flag, to be quite honest, because I just think about the fact that Far Cry kind of sits in the same area as Assassin's Creed, where it's just they just put a new lick of paint on the same old game and rinse repeat each year and sell it. Same with Call of Duty, in my opinion. But and people probably hate me for saying that. But anyways,
I really think it depends on how we don't. In my opinion on this, we haven't seen enough yet. So in this trailer, we can definitely see there's discrete classes here. You can see there's some seems to be class abilities. We see a particular character with a crow companion that goes off and starts attacking some people.
A spirit crow.
We see another guy that lays down a launch pad that you can jump off and bounce up to get up on higher ground. And then you see another guy that stealths his whole party, and they're kind of moving through this building all stealthed, almost invisible.
Yeah.
So without knowing too much about the weapon mechanics or the skills or classes, I think in terms of my take on this game, Kat, I think it looks really interesting. I think the what we see from the the gunplay mechanics look great, but until we've seen more mechanics on the classes and the progression and stuff, going to reserve my opinions on this one because I just don't quite know where it's going to go yet. But it does look cool, definitely does look cool, and I thought the story tying in so far seems a step in the right direction. A little bit of Resident Evil vibes, Cap, and the old T-virus thing happening,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I suppose that whole kind of some enemies just seem to be particularly stronger than others, within that universe. Same kind of application here, but I think
you weren't sold, Cap, on the original one when you first looked at this.
The earlier trailers, no, not really, and I'm probably still not. I don't know, man. It's just something about having a really edgy kind of millennial character as the protagonist that just really gives me the shits, and I just can't stand the quippy nature of the of the voice lines. But look, at the end of the day, this game's going to be coming out on Xbox Game Pass for fucking free.
That's true.
It's a Bethesda title, so I'm probably going to play it because it's fucking free. So why not?
They've also announced that it's going to be cross-play between PC and Xbox too. So if you're a console fan and you want to play it on and that's all platforms, by the way, ladies and gentlemen listening from home. Yeah, that's Epic Games. That's the Xbox Game Pass and Steam. So very cool.
I don't know, but look, I must say that Arcane have created some of my favorite gaming experiences, and one of those is now I'm pretty sure. Let's double check before I say it. Arcane Studios, real quick, 2 seconds.
Have a look.
2 seconds. What games have they done? Yeah, they did. I just double checking. I was like, I'm pretty sure that game was from them. Prey.
Oh yeah, okay.
The
You love
most
that game,
recent
yeah.
iteration of Prey, where they kind of went down a completely different line. That is one of the best fucking mindfuck, like Shutter Island-esque game experiences ever. And if you haven't played it, go and give it a crack. It holds up really well. And they did a really good job with that story. I couldn't get my nose out of it.
What year was that created, Kat? When was that? When did that come
would
out?
have to 2017 apparently. According to
okay.
this.
Yeah, I never played that.
yeah.
I've never played it. Maybe should go have a look at it for sure.
Yeah, definitely worth a crack. It's really, really well done. And yeah, the twists and turns in that game are brilliant. And they had a really good DLC that was basically purely roguelite. You kept going through this kind of like simulation thing over and over again, and it had a really brilliant just story that kicked in the same area of, it's this whole kind of space station, thing happening off world, and alien shit happening, and yeah, did a really good job of it. Really, really brilliant game.
I love roguelites, Kat.
I know you do, my friend. But yeah, so there you go. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Redfall at the moment. I'm just like, looks fine, I'll give it a crack. So yeah, we'll see. So yeah,
did you think, Cap? Did your opinion slightly go up a little bit after watching this cinematic trailer, lore trailer, or are you still holding your say?
It's still kind of what I was expecting. I think it was kind of nice to get a bit of perspective on the bosses. And I guess I hope that's not the only main bosses they have, because there was only about 5 that they announced. But, I don't know. It didn't really change my opinion too much, to be quite honest. I think if it's Fallout with a class-based system, I'm still not Fallout. Far Cry with a class-based system. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be pretty fun. But that's the other thing, mate, is I don't play a lot of video games with people at the moment because it's just too hard for me to try and line shit up with people because I don't know when I'm going to be.
I said, Cap, let's play a game of Turbo. No, no deal.
No, can't do it.
No Dota 2 with Grizz. Yeah. No,
I know, mate. It's hard. It's tough.
No, I understand. I know what it's like. I know exactly what it's like. It takes a while, mate. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I'll get back in there. But in the meantime, well, I'll tell you about it in how's your game going. But yeah. All right, moving along. Greasely Gaming. Now we did report on this a while back. The FTC, which is the Federal Trade Commission in America, they were looking to sue Fortnite and, well, their developer parent company, Epic Games, for using things called dark patterns in their video games, where they basically trick people into doing things that they aren't really aware of what they're doing.
Yeah,
it's a fairly classic and predatory development practice. And what happened in the end was the FTC won their case and ordered Epic Games to pay $245 million to, and now is paid in refunds, by the way, mostly.
Yeah. So if you got, I'm actually going to go log in, man, and see if I can refund a bunch of my skins in there. I've got heaps. I've got heaps of stuff in there. Just be interesting.
Do you really?
I do. Just to see what you can refund.
Actually, I'd love to hear about that, mate.
I'll have a crack. I'll have a go, and I'll report on it next episode and just see what happens here. Yeah. I mean, this is pretty. This is a pretty interesting story, right, Cap? Because if you look at what Fortnite were actually doing here, they had a mechanic where you only required one button input to buy something. But they had also changed the button mapping in the shop so that your confirm button was different to the go back button in the other menus.
That is pretty dodgy.
So,
and you know what? The thing is, at the scale that these guys are developing games at and the sizes of these companies, there's no possible way in my mind that they didn't know what they were doing.
No, absolutely not. No. But this is the dark patterns, Cap. Like, I'm sure. All right, if you have children, I would say that everyone that has had children that has access to an iPad will have accidentally bought something somehow from somewhere without you knowing at some point. I know that my kids have, my brother's kids have. Like, it's just such an easy thing to do. And I swear the developer of these apps, literally, that's what they aim. That's how they aim to make their bucks.
Yeah.
Some kid pressing something.
Under the radar.
That's it.
Yeah. It's even things like where they, for example, the cancel button is a different color, but it's kind of a lighter opacity, so you can't see it properly. It's shit like that. And you see it all the time.
Oh, even on websites now, you get a pop-up and there would be like a big red close button. It's like, press that. And then there's like a tiny little cross up the top corner that you're supposed to press. Yeah. Clicking that close button will take you to some other fucking dodgy website that's trying to steal your credit card details. Like,
it's fucked, isn't it?
Absolutely. And maybe this is I mean, look, let's be honest. The mobile gaming market is full of dark patterns. They're absolutely everywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
And to see Fortnite get this slap on the wrist here, $245 million, I wonder whether this is the start of something.
Well, I think we're seeing a lot of just trends in the gaming, market on large, right? I think more developers are having to be more accountable for things across all kinds of areas. I think, gaming, especially the mobile market, like gaming isn't quite the lawless wasteland that it used to be. And I think the big thing is, a lot of PC and console gaming, companies couldn't get away with this shit as much because gamers in those industries are much more fickle than mobile market gamers, because it's so much more generalized and anyone can play a game on your mobile because everyone has a fucking mobile, whereas you can't say the same about a PC game or a console game. But even things like, we've seen a lot of change in the loot box space recently, with a lot of European countries starting to make things illegal effectively. And I think, who was it? FIFA and Sony had to do some refunds recently as well. So, people are starting to be held accountable for things. So I'm hoping that this starts a little bit of an undercurrent in the gaming market where people go, well, is it really fucking worth trying to just be a dickhead about things, I
wonder how much 245 million is worth to Fortnite. I would say probably not.
I wouldn't have thought much, but it's still something. It's still, at the end of the day, it's still a chunk, I guess, that has to be taken from somewhere. So, it doesn't look great for their investment, but I'm sure it isn't I'm sure it's not going to really hurt them all that much. But yeah, so another thing, Grizz, that they were doing, reading this really quickly, was if you refuted any of the charges and stuff, they would lock your Fortnite account. And you couldn't unlock it, which was, I don't know, just really fucking dodgy on so many levels, especially when they were giving you the options to seek refunds and then locking your account when you were doing stuff. So, yeah.
That's kind of suck. I wonder what happens if you withdrew that. I wonder whether they would unlock your account if you withdrew the.
Don't know. You probably had to go through some really dumb, elongated process of talking to some support representative who said they couldn't do much, and then,
it'd be interesting to see how this kind of happens, right, Cap? Obviously that $245 million is based on an anticipated revenue of the dark patterns or whatever it might be. Like, there's got to be some kind of mathematics behind that. But I wonder how much of that is actually going to end up back in people's pockets that have made mistakes. Like, how do you calculate that stuff? Well,
that's the thing. I'm not too sure exactly how the FTC expected Fortnite to deliver these refunds. So I'm sure it's probably in there somewhere, but it wasn't readily apparent from what I read. The big issue with a lot of these stories as well, Grizz, that I was reading, is they're very much aimed towards like people who have a law background, which I certainly fucking don't.
I'm the same. So,
I was trying to get shit for this story, but anyways, look, Fortnite is coughing up from the coffers, baby.
Coughing up some bucks. Good. If one of these dark patterns happened to you, then it's likely that you you know what? Even if it didn't, you can probably go find a way to go and refund your skins and say, "Yeah, I didn't mean to buy these. Give me some money." Fortnite.
Well, Fortnite took advantage of you, ladies and gentlemen. So now it's time to take advantage of them. So there you fucking go. My grandma always said eye for an eye. She never said that, but anyways. Now, Sukai said in chat that they made $5.8 billion in revenue. in 2021. So, that's 4% of their 2021 revenue. So, I'm sure they'll be okay. All right, there you go.
Manage.
All right, Grizz. Now, Square Enix, the other day, they came out, they had a bit of an investment thing happening about their, their quarterly, shit going down, their financials.
Yep.
And they said, look, Forspoken wasn't that great. Didn't do very well. The reviews, shocking. Absolutely shocking. And boy, were they right.
What is interesting, though, Cap, is like reading that, sounds like it did really badly in the box office, which maybe it didn't meet their expectation. But just to put that in perspective, it was the 7th best-selling game in January 2022, Forspoken.
Yeah.
So quite a few people bought it. Maybe not past January they didn't buy it, but it did okay. It wasn't like a complete dumpster fire of sales, was it? Unless I'm wrong.
Well, yeah, but I mean, so the issue I think here, right, is we know in the past that Square Enix has a very high expectation for its IPs. Now, their expectations have led to them getting rid of their Western development wings. So I'm talking Embracer Group picked up the developers of Tomb Raider, and they picked up the developers of Deus Ex. Can't remember the names of them, but yeah, basically they have a very high expectation of what their games should be doing, right? So now the issue I think with this, beyond that, is that it carries on with everything, and they basically hold these games. I mean, obviously, Forspoken is a brand new IP. Hasn't hit with people yet, and it needs to sort of, get into people's, in their hands, and people need to enjoy it. Whereas they kind of compare it to immediately off the bat to things like Final Fantasy and their expectations for sales and those kind of things, which just isn't going to happen, right? It's just not you're not going to get the same, those games have been around since fucking before I was born.
A brand new IP. But Cap, let's be honest here. Forspoken, let's talk about it real quick.
Yeah.
Just looking at the game, it didn't do anything particularly well.
No.
I felt like the gameplay was focused at this range combat, and it felt kind of like a little bit cheesy, like you were cheesing all the bosses with these spells. The dialogue is criticized, like you look at any review,
to
and it
completely
goes
negligent, not worth listening to.
Yeah, and the exploration, while the areas were quite cool, I think the exploration was quite shallow in itself as well. So
I think. Do you know what? I think we've kind of spoken about this before, Grizz. I am convinced this game was a tech demo, and they went, "Oh, this could be cool. Should we just turn this into something?" And retroactively tried to. I mean, look, I'm sure you've probably seen all kinds of weird project management shit happening at all kinds of different scales in your job. And I mean, I know a lot of people listening to this podcast in similar jobs, or even just in industries where project management happens at, even small size projects. You can see how something like this would just be completely fucked up at scale. When you're trying to take something as a concept that was like, oh, we'll just make a little tech demo into this. I think you can see how it would go so very, very poorly.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't know, but they did say that, we got some positive feedback on our action features, like our parkour and combat capabilities.
Look, some of it was quite amazing. And you know what's interesting, Cap? I actually remember you picking this up when we first saw gameplay footage of this. You were like, this game looks cool, but there's something fucking not quite right about it.
Yeah.
And you weren't sold from the trailer itself. You just
I think a lot of people weren't. But yeah, I don't know. I think obviously this is the state the game's in now. Square Enix isn't happy with Forspoken, but it's also not happy with a lot of its other titles. So it did sort of point out that a lot of its new small to medium-sized titles that launched this year didn't perform as well as they had hoped either. So, some of the things that came out this year were the Dio Field Chronicles, Star Ocean, The Divine Force, Harvestella, Tactics Ogre Reborn, which is a remake, Dragon Quest Treasures, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, which is that fucking long name for just a remake of another Final Fantasy thing in the same engine as the newer Final Fantasy VII stuff, and Valkyrie Elysium. So obviously they're not particularly happy with some, if not all, of those titles. But I don't know.
Do you want to hear my hot take on this, mate?
Yeah, mate. Flap it on me.
A few weeks ago, we talked about whether we thought gaming was going into a subscription service model and whether we think that'll be the future of gaming.
Yeah.
Well, I think we are beginning to see the effects of subscription services on game sales. I mean, why are you going to go and pay $100 for Forspoken when you've read a review that it's not that great, when you can go and spend $5 or more than that, $8 on a game service and play Brotato, but then you can play any other game that is also on that is going to be worth your money as well.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, but I mean, some people might argue, just to be devil's advocate, that Game Pass equivalents and subscription services may even perpetuate the quality of shit games that we are seeing here and there and everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you know? I actually just think that a lot of games companies scale really poorly with their projects to the point where they think they know what they're doing, and then projects just get lost in project management bureaucracy and don't hit targets, don't manage to hit milestones on time, and then you have small indie companies that can just smash something fucking out. I mean, I know it takes you a long time to build a game. I'm not saying smash it out in that sense, but they manage to they know what they want to build, they smash it out. It doesn't get lost in amongst a fucking design team of fucking 100 people and then a fucking development team of 200 people. And, it doesn't, people are able just to capitalize now. And a lot of indie experiences tend to be, interpreted as better experiences than some of these big, large cookie-cutter games.
Those indie games are someone's love project. Someone has, thought about that and loved and cherished it. When you've got a big company that's making these games, you've got a big dev team, and it's crunch time. You're meeting these deadlines and other bits and pieces, and maybe that's what it comes down to. The people are, it's more of a job than a passion. I mean, you look at Concerned Ape with Stardew Valley and the time that he took to make, even the Hollow Knight guys. How long has it been? Silksong. How long have we been waiting on Silksong for those guys to bring out?
I know
that
and
game.
Look, I mean, I'm happy for them to take their time because ultimately, I think it'll be a great game if they can just have a little bit of time. Because I mean, really, I think that's probably what happened to Forspoken. This thing was siphoning money. I mean, I read somewhere that there's no exact number on the budget for this game, but they reckon it's somewhere over $100 million. Do you reckon this game managed to make that money back? I don't fucking think so.
No. I mean, and like
not.
I said at the start, Cap, it actually, on the charts, it actually was not too bad for its sales in January 2022. It was up there with some of the other... did I pull out some of the names? No, I got rid of them. But there was, if you look at who they beat in terms of sales, and maybe they haven't got good ongoing sales because it's reviewed so poorly, but people were quite hyped up about this game, and the month one sales were decent. But when you've got such a big, because could you imagine, right, Hollow Knight, say if that came out and they were kicking those kind of goals in their first month, they would probably be going, yes, celebrating. Yeah. I guess it's just different depending on what your expectations
it's always
are.
a contextual thing though, right? Depends on who's producing what. But I think Square Enix seems to be a very difficult company to find solace in their game sales. And again, like I said, they've complained in the past that they don't think the things are doing well enough. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, Square Enix, but just make a fucking better game. Stop churning out these fucking 2-second fucking JRPGs that you've just sort of half baked. I mean, to be honest, some of them are good and some of them are fucking bad. Seems like the new Octopath Traveler's not too bad, and people haven't really spoken much about Dio Field, but I don't know. Well,
I actually watched someone streaming some Octopath. Pixel 9 Tales was streaming a playthrough of it. It actually looks fantastic. I thought it looked like a really nice JRPG.
The way that they present the graphics is superb. I think the only issue I had with it was. See, this is probably the hardest thing to get right in a JRPG, in my opinion, is to have a perfect difficulty curve where you feel like you're being pushed just enough to, in the, realm of doing turn-based combat, but you aren't having your hand held or blitzing through everything. It's very difficult to find that tedium,
Man, I'm having the same fucking issue with my D&D campaign right now. Either Mike and Curdy piss through the content, or they're nearly both dead. It's like,
it's
how
hard.
do you find
the maths of trying to get a difficulty curve together are very difficult. And I found that the demo I played of Octopath, I got to the boss and the boss just fucking trashed me. I was just like, fucking, excuse me?
Yeah, right.
And I was having a really good time up to that point. And then I was like, well, fuck this. I'm not playing this game anymore.
So it was actually not too easy. A lot of those games, like I find like you can just piss through them.
Yeah, I think it was good because it kind of promoted you to think about the way you ordered your attacks and stuff. And then when it came to the boss, it was like no room for error, which is fine. But when it's a turn-based combat thing, I just felt like it was very difficult. And a lot of it was just me healing my characters with potions. And I was like, this feels shit, Like I haven't got a person who can heal my main character.
Yeah.
So I'm just fucking chugging fucking potions in the corner
Chugging
here,
pots.
hoping that I can get through this next big fucking ultimate ability the boss is about to do. So, yeah, anyways. But look, Square Enix, it'd be interesting to see what they do in the next, I don't know, 5 years, Grizz. What do you reckon they'll shed some more development and maybe downsize the company a bit further, perhaps? I don't know. But if they're not happy with how their small to mid-sized titles are performing, and they have been known for cutting the fat, so to speak, I'd be a little bit worried.
Cap, do you ever think that they will just go, let's just ditch these studios making these smaller games and just go all in on the Final Fantasy thing? And they've obviously got Final Fantasy 14, the MMO that's doing quite well, and they're bringing out other
It's a big
single
risk,
player
though,
ones.
because you've got to. I mean, there have been some pretty average Final Fantasy games that people haven't, really gelled with. I don't think people really liked 13 when it first came out. I don't know if it performed particularly well. I don't know. I think if they're smart, they still kind of.
Cap, they've got all the remakes to make, mate. They've done 7. Surely they're going to go back and do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and do them all.
Well, I mean, they kind of did. What was it? They kind of did one with Stranger of Paradise, right? And that's actually coming out to Steam soon. But I don't know, Grizz. We'll see what happens. I think they're smart to probably maintain some degree of diversification in their IPs because not doing so just doesn't give you much opportunity to really to fuck up. Basically, I don't know. We'll see what
Honestly,
happens.
mate, I reckon they'll do 8 again. I think they'll do 8 as a remake, similar to the way they've done 7.
Yeah, I think 8 would
was
work really well.
Oh, it'd be great. 8 was actually my first Final Fantasy experience, I believe, and then went back and played some of the old retro ones on.
I'd love to see 8 done as a remake, kind of like they've done with 7, and I'd love to see 9 done as a Netflix series. That would be fucking tight. That'd be sick.
Interesting.
But yeah, be interested to see what happens. Anyways, let's move fucking along Greasely Gaming. Now, we did report on this briefly, and I think we'll continue to report on it briefly.
Yeah.
But Bleak Faith were accused of stealing. Oh well. Firstly, they released a game, Bleak Faith, Forspoken, sharing the namesake of another really fucking great game.
Yeah.
They Soulspawn game or style genre game. Indie developers, and these guys were accused of stealing Elden Ring animations and using them in their own game. They since came out and noted that what had happened is they had bought an animation pack on the Epic Games Store which they used in their Unreal Engine development kit, and it contained literally just fucking animations pulled straight from Elden Ring.
So some dude had created a toolcap that enabled you to extract some of the animations and the work and stuff behind these, which is where that original Twitter post was actually that guy had made that tool, and he was going, I never thought my tool would be used for one-on-one ripping things like Elden Ring and using them in other games. So
it's unfortunate, but I mean, this is the reality of humanity. If there's a will, there is a way.
Yeah.
And if they want to do it, they will.
On another note, Cap, have you looked at reviews and stuff of this game yet?
No, how's it looking?
Man.
In the Grizzler?
It's
particularly good?
No, not particularly good. So, like, this is marketed as a Soulspawn game, but there's one really funny clip of, that Cone Carnage Twitch streamer?
Yep.
Yeah. He there's one bit where the game literally makes you climb up a ladder for like 8 minutes. And it's like,
dude, that's just like fucking Metal Gear Solid.
Just not good game design, and he's going up. And he's going
the cool
up.
thing with Metal Gear Solid is I'm pretty sure the credits start rolling at the start of that game. And it's like kind of like a cool, like, like movie style, like James Bond moment where he's slowly climbing the thing and the fucking Snake Eater, like fucking climbing the. I don't think Snake Eater's playing. It's another song, but still, it's that same kind of thing. But Raiden's climbing the. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I can't quite remember exactly, but
It also has a horrendous memory
on
leak.
PS2.
So the more you play the game, you actually start chugging along as you're playing. And
Oh, that's
yeah,
good. What was that other game that had a horrendous memory leak? Oh, Pokemon. No, was it Pokemon? No, it was something on Switch. Oh, that's gonna fucking kill me. There was something that had a really bad memory leak. That
Pokemon did at the start, wasn't it? Pretty sure, and then they fixed it. Can't remember.
No, I mean it's still pretty fucking. I think Pokemon just bit off a bit more than it could chew. To be quite honest. Oh man, what was it? That's gonna fucking kill me. Anyways, I'll think about it later. I'll probably just blurt
You've done it
out.
to yourself again, Capo. You've done it to yourself again.
Yeah, I've done it again. Too much shit in this brain. But yeah, there you go. That was the freaking quest log, everyone. So yeah, now Grizz, we didn't do an OGR poll this week because I just literally forgot.
I put one up.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hang on a second.
Once again, it's only got 5 votes.
2 seconds before we start anything. Let me just fucking get this going. There we go. There's a poll in, ladies and gentlemen.
Very
You can
nice.
vote in the poll every week. When we remember to do it. I promise you, I will set a reminder to actually do it this week. Excuse the lack of polls, but yeah, twitter.com/OGR show, ladies and gentlemen. You can vote in the poll every week. Generally adjacent topic to something we're going to be talking about in the quest log or elsewhere in the show, but yeah, so we didn't this week, but don't worry, I promise you next week it'll happen. Now, Grizz, hit me.
Love
with
this
it.
thing.
What do we do?
Okay. Who has the best beard? Yes, we forgot the poll again. Photo in comments, and it's a comment of the 3 of us. Grizzly with 0% of the vote. Not surprised. I do not have a beard. I've got some stubble, going on.
Yeah.
A little bit of stubble. Pav with 40% of the vote. Only 5 votes though, but still.
Boy.
And Cap
That's
up
pretty
top
good.
with 60% of the vote. There you go.
Damn,
Cap.
Pav, that's pretty freaking close, mate.
Yeah, one
You
of the
have
votes
to-
was me.
I don't know. We might have to
So,
mud wrestle to really find out
I
who
voted
does.
for my own beer cap. So I got one.
Oh god, Pav, I don't know if that's allowed, mate.
Close. Kajingman's not
I
on
love it.
Twitter. Can't vote
Well,
in the
there we
poll.
go. No, we got to be on Twitter to vote in the poll, unfortunately. There's not
Mm-hmm.
really a way that I can. Well, I suppose we could do a straw poll, but we kind of want to embed it somewhere. It's just. I'm sorry. It's just how
should
it
just
is.
get
You're
Twitter
not on
caging.
You're not.
Hmm.
Yeah, sorry. You're gonna have to be a Elon Musk, a Muskite. A devotee of Elon Musk. But yeah. Anyways, there you go. That was the OGR poll for this week. Expect one this weekend. I promise you, I'll get my shit together. But there you go. Yeah. Hey, Grizz, how's your gaming been going, mate?
Gaming's going pretty good. Pretty good. Cap, so you want me to start? Or you want to? I always start. Do you want me to start?
me
Or
to
you want to start? You start this time.
Nah.
Yeah.
No,
Okay, I'll go.
no,
Okay,
you
I'll
go.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll get this. My game is going good, although I have had limited time to play gaming. But I've been playing some Dota 2. Cap, Dota 2 did have a new hero that was finally released. This hero was announced at TI, and it was released, I believe, with the last major patch, which is now upon us. So some great balance changes, some buffs, some nerfs, the old classic. They rotate around some of the neutral items and other bits and pieces. But the new hero that we see pays homage to Cap, the Mexican what is it? The Day of the Dead. The Day of the Dead. Her name is Murta, and she is wearing a lot of the Mexican Day of the Dead kind of bits and pieces. And yeah, pretty cool. Quite overtuned, but a lot of fun. So
Classic.
been playing a bit of that. Cap, obviously D&D is still happening. I'll quickly run you through what happened in the last episode of D&D, Cap. I made my players go and find a caravan of lost travelers that had been lost on the roads. Curdy is a Bjord Snowman is he is a ranger, so he can track things. They tracked it down to the ocean. Something had carried all their bodies down there, and there was an opening in this rock pool, in like a cave opening, and they swam through and they came out. Turns out it's the lair of a sea hag that was waiting there to kill these players. Pretty hectic in there.
Fuck, mate. I can't tell you how many times I've been fooled by that.
That's right. So, no, that was pretty cool. And then, Cap, something that's been on my radar as well that I wanted to flag with you, a game that looks fantastic that is coming out soon is Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. Now, the Deep Rock Galactic game already exists, and that game in itself is amazing. It's kind of like a extraction shooter. You go in, you do these missions, and you mine stuff with your hammer and your different items, and you get out and you build weapons. Well, this is a top-down isometric survivor looter shooter roguelite game based on this IP. So you kill bugs, you upgrade your gear, you delve deeper and deeper into these caves, you collect and assemble devastating array of guns and unleash hell upon these wave after wave of monsters. Each mission is unique, using procedurally generated caves, and takes all the great things already in this universe, which is dwarves and guns and mining and that kind of stuff. It looks fantastic. At the moment, there is 4 playable characters, more than 30 weapons, more than 100 enemy types, a few bosses, a few biomes, and there looks to be quite a deep progression system of different artifacts and upgrades. So I love roguelites, and I think this, given this dev,
right up your alley.
should be great. One to keep the eyes on for sure.
Yeah, I had a bit of a look at the trailer, Grizz, and I think it looks pretty cool. I like the, it's kind of got that card thing going on where you select your next upgrade and stuff, and yeah, I think it'll be good. Did you say multiplayer?
Yeah, it is. Well, actually, I don't know that. It says 4 playable characters. I don't know whether it'll be multiplayer or not, but I can probably find out while you're doing your how's your game and going, Cap.
Yeah, wicked. Well, look, I had a bunch of shit I was kind of, tinkering with this week. First thing is I saw the new trailer for Hyperlight Breaker, which is that kind of, I don't know, if you might have played Hyperlight Drifter, which was this pixel art kind of, it was kind of like I guess, how would you even describe the fucking world of that game? It was pixel art, firstly. So 2D pixel art, kind of a Soulsy kind of Soulsborne-esque combat sort of adjacent, so difficult combat. And I guess the art style was kind of this blend of like 80s retro kind of colors with kind of like a digital fantasy medieval-esque thing going on. Very, very cool art style. Very difficult for me to describe. Almost kind of like, it's like Verge cyberpunk, but not really, but more medieval 80s retro, anyways. Hard to explain. Go and look it up if you're not familiar with it. The next game in the universe of the Hyperlight stuff, Hyperlight Breaker, they released the trailer. We knew it was coming, but it is going to be a 3D title. Similar kind of art style, I guess, obviously just not 2D pixel art, but similar color palette and I guess approach to the atmosphere and level design and all that kind of shit. Well, actually, not levels of design. Let me retract that, because what they're going to be doing, apparently, Grizz. So what I hear is they're doing procedurally generated, unlimited open worlds.
Wow,
which on paper sounds cool. But I reckon they're going to have the Starfield problem, Grizzler. I reckon they won't be able to put enough interesting shit in it to make it worth your while, and it could be a little bit garbo. The thing that might save it is the traversal and just general kind of mechanics look really fun. So, the way that you move your character through the world and stuff, it might just feel really fun to play. So that might help it a little bit. So the actual procedural generation of the worlds might kind of be less of an issue. But yeah, I guess it'll depend on how they actually go ahead and actually, capitalize and execute the game. So, but it looks really interesting. New protagonist, and I don't know if it's linked to the first game, but it's definitely set in a similar kind of world. So interesting to look at if you're in the market for a game like that, or like the first one. Now, the other thing I've been doing this week, Grizz, is seriously considering getting a Steam Deck.
Really?
Yeah.
You have to get it from somewhere. You can't order them here, right? You got to get it from somewhere.
You can buy them through Amazon and Kogan.
That's
for
right.
Australia,
Okay.
but they're not selling them in Australia. And do you know what? I actually don't think they will. I think it's a very Steam thing to do, where they just go way too hard to sell in Australia. We'll have to fucking license it and fucking
How much does it cost to get a Steam Deck from?
All right, so this is the thing, right? I did a lot of research, and thank you, my mate Dana, who was telling me about how went about.
He's got one, hasn't he? Yeah,
he does have one now. So you can go. So there's 3 different types. You can get the 64 gig version, the 256, and the 512. Now, the difference between them all is obviously, the onboard memory, firstly. But the 512 comes with an etch screen and some other goodies that don't really matter too much. They all have the same expansion slot, and the 64 gig has a, what do you call it, an EMIC drive or some shit, which isn't the NVMe of the others. So potentially the storage is a bit slower. Now, that doesn't fucking matter because you just go and buy a SD card that's faster than the thing anyway. So you go and get an SD card that's fucking fast as shit and just don't use that 64 gig for anything. But
can I play Diablo 4 on it, Cap?
Maybe. Probably not. Not yet. Unless that's the only thing. Is the only thing that I think would be missing from this is Game Pass isn't on it at the moment. Technically, there's workarounds you can use. But I just play a lot of games in bed, and I would just love to have access to my Steam library and just some more PC gaming experiences.
Weren't you doing some mirror thing that you were playing your Steam?
Yeah, I was using no, I wasn't. I was using Xbox Ultimate, which I'm still here and there. But yeah, so I'm thinking about getting a 64 gig model and then just getting a really good SD card for the expansion slot. I'll let you know how I go if I do move ahead with that. So watch this space. But the other thing I did, Grizz, is I got sucked in and found myself with a few hours, and I went and pre-ordered Diablo 4 because I can't control myself.
Well, it would be rude to not talk about Diablo 4 with the betas and stuff we've had.
It would be horrifically rude to not discuss the big elephant in the room, which is Diablo 4.
We're probably going to name this episode something about Diablo 4, and we've saved it all the way for the fucking Has Your Game and Gone. Probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, talk me through it, Cap, because I have not played it. So tell me what you're thinking, Matt.
Okay. Well, firstly, I just want to say I can't believe you haven't played it because you're an even bigger Diablo fan than I am. And I know you have your reasons. And maybe, do you want to just tell the people at home why you decided not to?
Look, I'm extremely excited about Diablo 4. The last thing I want to do is jump into it and play this beta and then be locked out of it until, when is it coming out? June or July or whatever it is. June.
I think it's June. Maybe
so
longer.
I'm pretty... And look, I don't regret my decision because I'm going to play a Barbarian, and I hear that the Barbarian right now in its current state is currently quite undertuned for the early levels. And I'll be playing hardcore, and I probably would have ripped on the Butcher and fucking hated myself. So, but no. Look, I do want to wait for the full release. I don't want to be locked out of that game until the release comes. So I'm happy to look at stuff, and I have looked at stuff, and it does look pretty cool, enticing. I'm happy where they've taken it so far anyway. But that's...
Look, it feels really good. I will say the first thing that struck me is it felt very like Diablo Immortal adjacent in a good way, mostly just in the way that it has presented the game. Like it feels nice. I think it looks really nice. I mean, you can't deny that Diablo Immortal, the mobile experience, looked really nice. It just doesn't, at this stage, seem to have all the bullshit that was kind of, microtransaction-y stuff that was in that game. And it was a little less on rails. You kind of, Diablo Immortal, I think, still did a pretty good job of providing a pretty, challenging mobile experience. But this is definitely your classic Diablo, raid in the pits of hell, what do they call it? ARPG?
Did they give you any cinematics that we hadn't seen, Kat?
Well, yeah, technically. I mean, there's a lot of in-game cinematics that...
Is there? That I haven't seen any of those, by the way. But how were they? Were they pretty good, the in-game cinematics?
A lot of them are done in engine, in-game engine.
Okay, that's cool.
So I haven't seen any new, actual cutscenes that were cut in a special engine. But they looked really good. There was a few issues I noticed with just like textures popping in and out or slowly loading on perspective change, or like even just like some of the NPCs in the background of the cinematics looked a bit garbo, just because they were just like not the main point of the cinematic, so they just looked like fucking, I don't know, like a fucking stick figure. Not really, they weren't that bad, but still, but yeah, I mean, the cinematics are great, and the story's quite decent. I think one thing that I really liked about it, and then maybe some people won't like so much about it, was there wasn't a shitload of exposition, right? They had that cinematic at the beginning where there's that person riding their horse through the tundra, and then the lights kind of go out, and then their horse goes disappearing, and then the fucking ghouls find you, and then anyways, they put your character into that particular cinematic, and that's how you start the game. You find yourself in a cave, and you fight your way out of it, and then you find a little town.
The voice acting seemed quite good to me, from what I heard.
Voice acting's been pretty good, but I mean, it's something that I think is fairly true to form for Blizzard. They've generally had pretty good voice acting in most of their games.
Yeah.
Bar the more recent Warcraft 3 remaster, but Zug. But yeah, the voice acting was really good, and the story was really fun. I won't go too much into detail on the story, but I will say that Lilith is a very fucking cool villain, and like to the point where they've done a really good job of kind of portraying her as, is she really the villain? That kind of thing, right. Which is cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
So I'm quite looking forward to seeing where this story goes, right? Because I mean, let's be fucking honest. We want to see fucking Diablo fucking pop out of the world, fucking crystal, and bust some heads. So I'm hoping that
it is called Diablo after all.
It's named after fucking Diablo. Where's my freaking boy Diablo? The king of fucking the 7 underhell realms. So yeah, I'm interested to see where this story goes. They do a really interesting job of kind of blending the world of hell with I guess the angel stuff as well, just in the terms of what they're kind of portraying in the story. Again, I won't go too much into it, but you do see this archangel called Inarius, and Lilith and Inarius are basically the reason that Sanctuary, the world of Sanctuary where the humans live, that's why that realm exists, is because they got it on, baby. They fucking got it on.
Now, Cap, I wanted to comment on something here. I've been watching a few hardcore streamers play this game, and there appears to be... I think with hardcore action RPGs, right? I think that they need to be really careful with making moves that one-shot you, not when... They need to be telegraphable. So you either need to be able to dodge, use a movement ability to dodge out the way, or like swirlies. The classic is World of Warcraft with the swirlies on the floor. If you're stupid enough to stand where the swirly is and you die, then that's on you. But I saw a couple of clips of these guys fighting, I think it's one of the world bosses, and he does this one maneuver that he's like 2 screens away from you, and it just comes out of nowhere and smacks you and one shots people, hardcore characters. And it's just like, really? Like, at least give it like some skill cap on it. I don't know whether, I'm sure they'll fix stuff like that. But...
Yeah, I'm sure they will. Look, I didn't experience that because I didn't play on hardcore. I did play on like the higher difficulty that I could play on without it being ridiculous. But and I found that to be fairly challenging. I think, look, honestly, a lot of the bosses that I fought against, and the basic enemies, I thought that they all had abilities that I needed to be aware of. That's and cool. I was able to telegraph. And I think this was one interesting thing for me, Grizz, because I've normally played Diablo on keyboard, but I actually found the controller to be a lot more favorable.
Yeah.
Mostly because I was able to kind of a little more easily traverse and avoid mechanics.
So you were using a controller in the end to play?
I was, yeah. I will say that I don't really like how they've set up the buttons, but I'm sure I can just do some minor changes just to make that a little bit better. But for the most part, it's they've done a good job of porting the controller in and setting that up so it's fun. But yeah, I found the fact that a lot of the bosses that I fought, they definitely had moves that positioning was really important. And when I got to those bosses, I definitely felt the pinch a little bit here and there. And there was a couple of moments where I got pretty close to death.
Cool.
Didn't die, but it
How did you
really
find
good.
the skill tree and the skill system and the weight of the skills you were unlocking, Cap? How did you find that aspect?
Let me start from the beginning. So I've only played the sorcerer, so that's within. I wanted to play something that was kind of adjacent to the necromancer because that's what I intend to play on release. Now I believe the necromancer and druid will be available in the open beta next week or this weekend for those listening at home. But so I played the sorcerer. Didn't really find her skills all that interesting because I mean it's just pretty classic sorcerer shit.
Hydras and stuff, is it? Stuff like that, I think.
Oh, it's just like it's just like frost, fire, shock, and what else? Is that it? Yeah, I think those are your elemental kind of powers. I found most of it just to be kind of projectile-y, and then I kind of went towards the shock stuff because you kind of had this big fucking shock whip you could do. It was
Cool.
almost like a melee ability, which I thought was really fucking cool. So I was running around doing that. But yeah, look, I thought from the get-go, the talent tree is really cool because it kind of it gives you a little bit of scope of, okay, you kind of go through these areas on the map of your talents, and as you kind of have these main nodes, and as you put skill points into the skills around that main node, it then unlocks the next main node, and so on and so forth. Now, each of those main nodes is a different kind of overall ability, right? So the first one's your basic attack. Then you do that, you spend a certain amount of points, and then you unlock your first mana kind of consuming ability. And then you keep putting points between those two, and then you unlock the third big sort of node area, and that, I believe, was kind of like your traversal ability. So like a teleport or like a what do you call it? Yeah, just like movement ability. So you can, use that and pair it also with your ability to use a dodge now. So yeah, and then I think the next one was just like a special ability that was just had a cooldown, didn't use mana or anything. And then I think there was also going to be like a mastery ability where that would click into whatever you were kind of doing with your class. And then I think there was also a super ability and some other shit. So I thought that was a good way to kind of learn the skill tree. And it kind of, promotes you to pick something from each of the things. So you do get a nice wide breadth of
it's cool.
of stuff. But I guess you can also mix and match if you don't really want certain things. But you will have to pick certain areas just by the fact that you have to pick shit out along the way. So
we'll also get a Paragon tree later too once we're max level as well. Be interesting to see what's in there as well.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, I have no idea. I didn't see the Paragon tree, but. But yeah, I can only imagine that there would be a shitload of different ways to build your character out. But look, I found the talent tree system to be really good. There wasn't an awful lot of sting if you wanted to respec and try something else out, especially in the earlier levels. I think it was only it's got to about level 12 or something where I started having to pay gold, and it wasn't even that much. It was like $100, so it wasn't that much in the grand scheme of things. And can confirm there are treasure goblins, so you'll have plenty of fucking some loot.
So, Cap,
yeah.
was this a positive experience for you, and are you excited for?
Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun doing it. I will say that. How do I word this? Like, I kind of did my usual of just like with these games, I kind of just completely zone out, and then I get really tired playing them because I just feel like I'm not doing a lot with my brain. And I was kind of really trying to smash on through it to try and.
You got to do?
Yeah. What?
You got to play hardcore.
Yeah, I think you're right. But then I have the stress of playing hardcore. I don't know where the blended experience is.
I'm the same with Diablo, man. It just gets it. Like I feel like all of them, it gets quite mindless, and you find that you're just min-maxing on stats.
Yeah. And then you kind of, but yeah, I know. And I kind of sometimes I go into the same mindset with WoW. You know what I mean? Like I kind of just am doing this thing for the sake of just doing this thing, and then it makes me really tired. So I had a couple of moments where I was like, man, this game is making me tired. But
dying does suck though. That does.
Oh yeah, dying does really suck. But I mean, I didn't experience that. But I can imagine it would be.
Did you die at all? By the way, Cap, did you die?
No,
you didn't die.
No,
didn't
die. I only got to level 14 though, so hopefully I can.
Will
pick my
you
character
play the open beta weekend next? Are you going to play more of this game or?
Yeah, I'm going to definitely, especially if I can play the Necromancer. That is for sure, my friend. So yeah, definitely continue playing.
Cool.
But yeah, I had a really good experience with it. There was also like just some kind of bits and pieces just to kind of share with people at home. There's kind of like these public event style things happening on the world map where are kind of a little bit Destiny 2 inspired, where you can have like a hardcore mode of the event by meeting certain criteria for the event. So you get like 100 souls into the fucking soul urn in the middle, and then all of a sudden it becomes a hardcore event. Or
Destiny kind of has that, didn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Destiny 2 inspired. So and then that will grant you extra points or currency for completing the thing. But it was funny because the currency that I got for completing that thing you can spend it at this special vendor. And I thought, fuck yeah, let's go and spend some fucking oobles at this fucking vendor. And I fucking bought some boots, and they were fucking common dog shit boots. And I could not believe my eyes. I'd spent my hard-earned oobles to get these terrible fucking common boots, which were worse than my current common boots.
Was
I
it
couldn't believe
gambling?
it.
Is it like you couldn't see
No,
what the
it's-
item was? No?
Well, yeah, it's kind of like a random roll on an
Okay.
item, but I assumed that I'd be getting something decent, but didn't fucking happen. So
Hmm.
there you go. That's actually another thing is everyone's Russian in this game. Like everyone has a Russian accent.
Oh, really? All the enemies and stuff, is it?
Well, no, all the NPCs and stuff. Like the area in
Oh,
at the
oh,
beginning,
yeah, okay.
everyone's like Russian, and it was like, yeah.
What about the
weird.
boss? The boss dialogue? They Russian as well, or
Russian to get in combat with you? No, no, they weren't. They were all different manners of hellish creatures, and there was actually this particularly really fucking cool boss fight where I had this NPC join me to help me, and like
oh, dang.
certain abilities of the boss, like this NPC had to produce like a zone I could stand in to avoid the mechanic. But the character looked a lot like the protagonist in, remember that Pentiment game that was like that 2D pixel art Soulsborne style game with the guy with the big pointy hat?
Yeah.
Looked very similar to that guy, and it was
That looked
such
wicked.
a sick fight. It was
Okay.
a wicked fight. Really, really cool. So I'm excited for you to play that. I'm just thinking if there's anything else to sort of tell you about Grizz. Just
Did you find any legendaries, Cap? Any legendaries, mate?
what colours legendaries?
Orange.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I've got a couple equipped. Yeah, a couple of oranges.
Do they have legendary affixes on them, like do special things with the
Yes.
skills and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
So when I use certain skills, they'll do certain things. Pretty cool. So,
Nice.
but yeah, look, the game has like main quests and side quests that you can go and do for various bits of loot. There was some pretty cool shit where there was like exploration points scattered through the land. So, which I thought was awesome because it would change the perspective of the camera, and you would now be looking at like a big cathedral in the background. So you're not always looking top down.
Oh, I like that.
It was
That's
really cool
yeah.
because in certain areas, like you get a better idea of what you're looking at from a different perspective and what your character would be looking at. So
yeah, the
I
whole
think that's
top-down
really cool.
thing doesn't do a particularly good way of painting the
It's
whole
hard
picture
for
you.
them to give you like that first person's perspective, what they'd be seeing, right?
Yeah.
So like again, one of these things was like this huge cathedral standing up in front of me, and it looked fucking awesome, and just something I'm not used to from Diablo 4. So I thought that was really cool.
That's
and there's
cool.
all these little areas of where you can do these little traversal points, which just kind of makes it a little bit more immersive and just a bit more interesting, more stuff to do in the world. So that was pretty cool. Actually,
Well,
that's
I'm
another
very
thing.
excited, Cap. I am very excited. I get the biggest draw card for me. One thing that I love in gaming that Diablo I feel like has always done really well is that really small chance to get something really fucking good from any mob that drops loot. They've got these big, expansive loot tables that stuff could just drop, and then that thing could drop at like a natural roll for the best legendary you could find. Every affix has a chance to roll at a higher kind of roll on that particular affix. I just really like that idea behind loot. So
Yeah.
yeah,
As long as you can get what you're after, I guess, or there's some kind of like fallback mechanic for if you have really bad luck and you can't get your special legendary. That's like how you do your favorite build.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll tell you what. Unrelated to builds and stuff, Grizz. One thing that I really kind of appreciated from this game is in earlier Diablo games, I just had this like part of my OCD where I had to, like search every single fucking little part of the map, and like I feel like that's less important now, which maybe is a good and a bad thing. But just because there is so much fucking map to explore now.
Is that right? Is there big maps, are they?
Dude, there's so much going on.
Oh,
there's so much going on to the point where like I just go, I don't know if I can be fucked doing all that. I'm just going to do the main objectives in this area. I'm just going to fucking get through it and kill the boss and walk out. And so I wouldn't go searching for those chests and stuff. And I don't know whether that's just more of a comment on me.
Cat.
But yeah, I don't know.
Would 6 months ago Cat playing this game have done that?
Do you know what? I was thinking about this. I was wondering whether it's my overall change in perspective and medication that has changed it. I don't know, to be quite honest.
Okay.
Probably.
Maybe I should play it and see if I fucking explore all the areas.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but I tell you what, mate. Yeah, it was one of those things. I felt really weird because I was like ignoring side quests because I was like, well, do you know what? I will say that the side quests were a little bit boring.
Were they? Yeah. Okay.
You know, it's just like, you know, escort someone here or fucking kill, you know, get 20 ghoul hearts. And I was like, oh, I'd rather just do the main quest right now. So I was just doing the main quest. So yeah, but I mean, Caging in chat saying that he always explores all the areas in Diablo, and I'm the same. I used to always explore every single fucking thing, but I just didn't feel the need in this game.
I was a bit pissed off with my D&D characters, Cap, because I designed this fucking thing where I expected them to explore this whole floor of a haunted house before they went down. They explored 2 rooms and then went down and fought all the enemies down the bottom without doing the rest of the. It's like,
yeah, it's always the way though. You never know what your D&D players are going to do you?
No.
But, yeah. Now, the final thing I'll say, Grizz, because I've been going on about this for a fucking long time, but one thing that actually pissed me off about this, no map overlay.
What?
Serious.
You can't press tab when a map comes up.
You cannot. You can, but your character will stop moving and it's your entire screen. You can't have it overlaid on your fucking screen. Which was annoying as fuck.
Surely that's going to change. Surely.
Dude, I couldn't believe it was missing. It is the classic Diablo map overlay thing. I just couldn't believe it was something that wasn't present in the thing.
Okay, interesting.
But yeah, it really pissed me off. Especially because like you kind of, if you're on controller, it's even more annoying because you could open the map up before you do, quickly click on a distant area with your mouse and your character would traverse to that point click and you can in that time open your map up and have a bit of a look, which, you know, it's not great. I prefer to have the map overlay, but with the controller, because it's a continuous input, as soon as you open that map up, your character stops. So it's just like I don't like that
is
lack
the
of
game
min-maxy
still
stuff.
running? Like, will enemies still attack you?
Yeah.
That is so horrendous for
this
hardcore.
is what I mean.
That is so horrendous for hardcore.
I thought it was really shit. So I hope that Blizzard fixes that because, not great. But yeah, so there you go. That was my freaking gaming, Grizz. It's been gone pretty bloody good.
Gone very good. Very
now,
nice, mate.
Yeah, we're coming up towards the end of the episode, so we're going to fucking dive into a bit of rapid fire. So let me if I can play you this bad boy. Rapid fire news brought to you by
DJ Francesco.
Yes, that is so fun. I haven't heard that, dude. That is so good.
I fucking Moosey sent me the he sent me that and mixed it with DJ Francesco, and then I mixed what we got through the thing. Do we want another play of that?
Can we do that again?
One.
That is so
absolutely.
good.
Rapid fire news brought to you by
DJ Francesco. It's in the game.
I just heard that it's in the game.
It's in the game. That's easy. EA are going to be suing us. If we're going to get big, EA are going to be suing this podcast. 100%. Hey, who did the who did the voice line for the middle bit?
That was Cap.
Is that you?
Wow.
Yep. Didn't have to pay anyone on Fiverr for that one, but yeah. So there you go. So you guys can be hearing that every freaking week. So let's dive straight in. Thank you to our big sponsor, DJ Francesco. All right. Grizz, ChatGPT recreated the classic game of Pong in less than 60 seconds.
Dude.
Some bloke, you know, just gave ChatGPT a bunch of instructions about what they wanted. Just said, hey, you're a developer, and I want you to create the game of Pong. And then it just went, here you go. Here's a game of Pong that's been implemented using HTML5, Canvas API, and just JavaScript, which is pretty basic stuff, but still pretty cool.
ChatGPT is nuts, Cap. I've actually been looking at a few things on Twitch TV recently. There's a plugin you can use that will get ChatGPT to write a story, but it's a pick your own path story. So the Twitch chat can basically tell a story as they go through and it reads it out in text and it will give you 3 options of what to do next and you can go down and do the next path. It's so good, man. I use ChatGPT to help me write a lot of my D&D stuff as well.
Dude, I used it to write my LinkedIn bio the other day.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I do this, and this. Write me a bio, and it wrote me a really good one.
Yeah, they're excellent.
That'll do.
They're excellent. It's like I used it to explain the sea hag lair that my players went to. I was like, there's a sea hag that lives in here. It smells. There's a little bit of light and there's some water. Please, like, write me something. And just gave this beautiful description of what it
That's
was.
awesome. I love that.
Yeah, very good.
That's
Very
brilliant
good.
for us plebs that have no literary, inkling.
That's right. Now, Cap, Twitch CEO Emmett Shear is stepping down after 16 years. President Dan Clancy will assume the position of CEO effective immediately.
Well, shit. There you go. Been a bit of a weird ride for Twitch, but old Sheary's been behind most of it, so there you freaking go. Well, don't know what he's going to be up to next, but probably just fucking living in the Bermuda or some shit. I don't know.
Jumping on to Kick. Have you seen Kick, Cap, the other streaming platform?
Yeah, I don't know what the go is with Kick, because I was reading about how it's like owned by some crypto conglomerate, and I was like, that sounds fucked.
Yeah, look, it's a bit shady, but I will say this, Cap, that as a creator, you get way more of a cut of your sub revenue.
How much are we talking?
I
I believe it's 95.
Yeah, you basically get all of it, dude. Yeah. So there's people that have moved from Twitch over to Kick, and they may only have half the viewers, half the subs, but they're like way better off financially.
Wow.
Or up
That
there.
is mental.
So,
Okay, well, yeah, I can see why people would be doing it. I don't know. I kind of had a bit of a brief look at it because I saw someone post about it on Twitter the other day, and I thought, what the fuck is that? And then I kind of was reading about who's kind of backing it financially, and I was like, yeah, well, look, if it's good for the creators, that's important. But yeah, just fucking keep your wits about you.
well, I guess just, the thing we've got with Twitch, which is, look, I know there's issues with that too, but at least we have like a Twitch terms of service and everything else, and they're pretty reasonably strict with that, and they've worked pretty hard to get a platform that is not full of hate and everything else, and going to a reasonably unmoderated platform, has going to have its risks that come with that for sure.
Absolutely. So fucking strap yourselves in. Yeah, there you go. All right. Nintendo's added 4 more classic Game Boy titles to its Nintendo Switch Online offering, Grizzly. In the, they've offered Kirby's Dream Land 2, Burger Time Deluxe, Side Pocket, and Xevious. Side Pocket is like a pool thing, like as in snooker. And Xevious is one of those top-down kind of like airplane thing, side-scrolling. Your plane's moving kind of upwards towards the top of the screen, and your plane moves sideways, left and right. You're kind of shooting shit that pops in. I'm trying to think of a good example, but I can't think of one. I think Xevious is the good example. But yeah, so there you go.
There you go, mate. In similar news, Cap, PlayStation Plus is getting 17 new titles added across its PlayStation Plus subscription tiers. Highlights include Cheer, which I haven't seen that before, a game inspired by something, Uncharted Legacy of the Thieves Collection, Ghostwire Tokyo, and Immortals Phoenix Rising. The Uncharted Legacy Collection's fantastic, though, Cap. Those games are excellent.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you know what, Grizz? I've heard that Immortals Phoenix Rising is really fucking good, and it's like a really good Breath of the Wild like, and some people even say it's better in some respects. So I've been meaning to give it a crack, because, yeah, like I said, apparently it's really fucking good.
Okay.
Kind of like a Greek mythology thing, But yeah, maybe when I get my Steam Deck, I might play it on there.
I can also see Dragon Ball Z and Rainbow Six Extraction on that list too, so not bad.
And
not bad.
Untitled Goose Game. There's a lot of shit on here. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
And that's also including some PlayStation classics such as Ape Academy, Siphon Filter, by the way, sick game, and Ridge Racer. So there you go. Very cool. All right, Grizz, Microsoft has continued to sign 10-year deals, now including the Tokyo cloud gaming provider Ubitus amongst its contracts. So it's going to be bringing its games to the cloud gaming provider Ubitus. So there you go. You have even more places to play your Xbox games. Monopolization. What monopolization, Mr. Judge?
Very true. Actually, well, speaking of that, Cap, former Blizzard leaders J. Allen Brack and Jen O'Neill re-emerged to start a new studio, Magic Soup Games.
Yeah. This is an interesting one, Grizz, because J. Allen Brack basically left Blizzard around the time that all the sexual allegation
Ah.
abuse stuff popped
Was he
up.
like, fuck this, I'm out of here, sick of it? Or was
Well,
he like,
I
my
think he
career's in
became
jeopardy?
the scapegoat, to be honest.
right. Okay.
Look, not condoning anything that happened around that time or anyone involved, but I kind of feel like Alan Brack might have been like maybe the least of their problems, and he was like the chairman or CEO or some shit. In that, I can't remember exactly what his title was, but I think he brought a lot of the brunt of that, and then was ejected from Blizzard. And then Jen O'Neill came online in conjunction with a guy called, I can't think of his name, and they became the like a duo CEO team basically. And then now Jen O'Neill has left Blizzard since, and I think Jen O'Neill left Blizzard as a kind of sign of solidarity with all the victims of what's had to happen there and all the bullshit. So she basically left in protest. But now the fact that she's working with Jalen Brack, I actually found that quite interesting and makes me think that, I mean, Jen O'Neill would have known exactly what fucking people got up to in that company.
Yeah.
So the fact that she was then happy to go and work with Jalen Brack just makes me wonder, I guess, what Alan's kind of overall, I don't know, position and, where he was in that line when all that shit went down and what his angle was. So not that it kind of reveals anything, but yeah, I don't know. I just found this very fucking interesting, basically.
Do we have any indication of what type of games we may see out of this? I'm kind of reading here
Not
that
really. I don't think so.
So Magic Soup joins a host of other studios founded by Blizzard veterans. I think some of these people behind StarCraft 2 and the StarCraft games. So it'd be interesting. I don't know. Who knows, Matt? Something. Maybe to the action RPG.
There's probably a
Cap.
fairly big, potential for another sci-fi RTS game in the vein of StarCraft. You know what I actually saw today, Grizz, and I thought I had a little chuckle to myself. I saw a caravan on the freeway attached to a ute, and it was I can't remember exactly what brand it was, but its model was StarCraft, and I thought,
really?
I'm going to
Sick.
get you guys sued right now. I'm going to send a fucking email.
Mate, speaking of fucking getting people sued, our stinger for the quickfire with the EA, it's in the game, mate. That's fine.
Good luck to them. Fucking good luck to them. If they want to fucking sue us, fucking good luck to them. All right, there you go. All right, Grizz, Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise is releasing on April 6th on Steam. So there you freaking go. If you're a fan of Final Fantasy 1 and you want to play the origin story, it's coming out. There you go.
There you go. Now, Cap, if Sly Frostpaw was in here, he'd be losing his shit over this. But Magic the Gathering are bringing out a Lord of the Rings inspired set coming up. And in that said set, there is one card, one type of one card. And can you guess what that card would be, Cap? Or you probably already know this.
To rule them all.
The ring to rule them all. But
One ring to bind them.
How fucking cool is that? How much do you reckon that ring would be worth, dude, if you found it?
Dude, it would have to be like 100k plus.
Yeah.
If you pulled that, surely it would have to be 100k plus. Like,
It
do
is
you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a one of a kind, right?
One of a kind card. One in the world.
Just to kind of elaborate on this, the One Ring is available in the set, but there's one special print that is going to be put in a booster set, and it is one of a kind print of this card type. And it's written in Elvish, and it's the only one of its kind, and it looks fucking sick.
Dude, that would be so sick if you pulled one of those.
It actually makes me want to go and buy some booster packs.
Yeah, me
honestly,
too.
And I think
it
I
is like
fucking
Charlie
might.
and the Chocolate Factory, isn't it?
Yeah, because it looks fucking cool.
The golden ticket.
Golden ticket. So,
cool.
yeah, there you freaking go. Now, it looks like it's available in collector boosters and gift bundles, not in draft and set boosters. So, there you go. Crazy shit.
And it is what is that orange card type? Mythic, I think they're called. They're already really rare. I mean, you can buy a booster box and not get one. You get a heap of rares and stuff, but it's actually like very uncommon to find
well,
one of these cards.
This is
and
even
then-
more uncommon than that. But yeah,
Yeah.
surely it's got to be worth 100 fucking big ones. But yeah, pretty exciting, Grizz. I definitely think whenever this releases, I'm gonna fucking go. And
Oh,
play it,
there's actually a
boost it.
comment down the bottom of this conversations. One guy goes, one card, it will be lost by an oblivious person or it will be sold to a collector for $5 million. Nothing in between.
Do you know what? I was actually thinking about that. What happens if it just never gets found? It's just lost in this fucking booster set in the middle of fucking Big Al's card emporium down the bottom of frickin' Northbridge for the rest of you.
It could easily happen. Yeah.
Yeah. Mental
absolutely.
to think that.
Hmm.
Very mental. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, money for someone. All right. Grizz, Fortnite Unreal Engine 5 editor will be available next week, providing access to much more feature-rich modding experience, including, and I didn't include the including here, Grizz, but I'm pretty sure they were adding really, you could do your own custom animations for character models. You could also drag in different sort of experiences and really granularly play with the levels and stuff in Fortnite. So
that's cool, man.
There is an in-game editor currently, but this is like the next stage of modding, basically. So actual really in-depth shit. So there you go.
Cap, Starfield.
Yep.
They're giving it R18, mate. And the reason why they're giving it R18 is, if it had sex in it, it's MA 15 plus. But there seems to be they've got high impact drug use. So maybe you can go on a little drug spree and, go dancing in your local nightclub and things.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting. R18.
Space sticks.
That is honestly, Cap, that is going to limit this game being played by some kids, right? Surely.
It's surprising, and it makes me wonder, because there was drug use in Skyrim and stuff, and I think, that was probably M, so it makes me wonder how fucking deep this drug use is. Are we going to be doing some peyote fucking Simpsons shit in the fucking on the fucking moons of fucking Ondor or some shit? I don't know what's going to be happening. We're going to be running around with a fucking headdress on. What's happening? So. I don't know. It's very interesting that it's now all of a sudden.
Is Cyberpunk Cyberpunk R?
Yes, must be surely. There's boobs in that game, mate. I've seen a boob.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Sex and boobs is only M15, MA15.
Yeah.
R comes in when there's drug use, which is I find that pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's probably a good that's a good podcast. What do you call it? Poll topic. What's naughtier, drugs or sex and boob?
Yeah.
Sex and Bob.
Sex and boobers. Mm-hmm.
We'll find out. Now, Grizz, I added this on the very end of the run sheet before we went live because I thought it was pretty cool. But they found some code in World of Warcraft recently that alluded to the fact that they might be introducing a hardcore mode to the classic version of the game. So that would mean
I saw
if your
Caging
character
Run
dies,
comment earlier about this, right? WoW Classic Season of Mastery had a kind of hardcore mode. Too bad that it's dead now.
well, this looks like it's actually probably maybe happening, perhaps.
Is it coming?
Almost certainly, maybe.
Jeez.
So,
there was a streamer thing happening for a while where those guys were doing one death modes, like Asmund Gold and all those guys were doing it. Whereas if you die, you got to delete your character. So.
Dude, imagine doing a fucking I just can't imagine this working at all. Imagine doing a raid or something.
Yeah, I know.
The
it would
probability
be
of you dying in a raid is almost 100%.
But could you imagine if you were part of a raid team, dude? On
that
a hardcore server that actually did the raid, it would be pretty up there.
It would
you
be
might
pretty
lose
cool.
a couple. You might lose a couple of people in the process, but
yeah, it would be cool if you could go through a big process of soul stoning your character in case you died or something, and you had there was some kind of mechanic. I don't know. I know it kind of detracts from the hardcoreness, but I do feel I don't know. I kind of look at the whole idea of a raid, and if you compare hardcore to something like RuneScape, I feel there's the potential of you dying in a World of Warcraft raid is almost 100% certain. So I just don't understand how that works.
So Caging is saying here the version they had before was a buff that would either show you haven't died or once you had died, it would show what level you died at. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, well, the code they found in the game suggested like it would effectively delete your character or provide you with a prompt saying, "Hey, you've died. Your character's about to be deleted." Kind of thing.
Jesus. Yeah, it's like Diablo. It's the Diablo hardcore thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
So,
my god.
but yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the rapid fire news, and that is the end of this podcast. Thank you so much for joining us yet again. This has been episode 50, our 50th freaking episode.
Hell yeah.
Very freaking radical. Hope you guys enjoyed all the new stingers that we've got, especially this one.
Rapid Fire News, brought to you by DJ Francesco.
It's in the game.
It's just too fucking good.
I really like that, man. I think it's taken the DJ Francesco meme to a whole nother fucking level. Pav,
Fucking too
up
good.
there.
Too
Yeah.
fucking good. But yeah, anyways, look, we'll be back next week on Monday. If you want to watch us live, you can do so on twitch.tv/Oceanic Gaming Radio. Yeah, jump in the chat and join fellow legends such as Caging Runt, Straight Jacket Jim, Kamikaze Cracker, and a bunch of other fucking rippers. Now, we do Twitters. We do the twitting. We do polls. We do the whole lot. So if you want to vote in the poll, you want to follow us on Twitter, see what we're talking about, twitter.com/OGR show. Go and follow us there. We'll have a poll out this weekend, I promise. Now, if you want to pay us money, you can do so on patreon.com/OGR show and join other bloody Patreon legends. We've been using the money for good things, such as paying for the stuff, the stingers. So there you go.
Mhm.
If you want to contribute to that, you can. Just go ahead and do so there. The other thing we've got is a Discord. We do have a Discord server, which we are insanely active in. Grizz is in there every evening, dropping fucking messages
Yep.
in there. It's really
Posting
annoying.
in there all the
kinds of
time.
pings all the time. Now, if you want to also join Grizz in posting all the time, you can do so by going to discord.gg/ no, I won't even read that one out. Just check out the podcast description or in the Twitch chat right now. Go and click that link. Other than that, do us a big fave. Go and tell someone about this podcast and drop a review on it. We'd really fucking appreciate it. Big 5 stars. That or nothing. Okay. But yeah, anyways, we'll be back next week. Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, look after yourselves. Peace out. Sick, yeah.
Nice work, boys. Just watching this fucking clip of this guy. I found a legendary bow on my Diablo 4 rogue. It added more arrows to penetrating shot. I combined it with shadow imbuement and everything explodes. And the Diablo Twitter people reposted and said, "For once, a mortal may just frighten us." But he's like literally blowing these packs up. It's cool. Cap, what is shadow imbuement, mate? What is that? Do you know what that is?
I didn't. What is that in Diablo 4?
That's what it's saying, yeah.
I didn't see that. I don't know. It must be a freaking type of element or some
thing
shit.
that does stuff.
A thing that does the stuff.
How you
Yeah,
going,
maybe-
Kazi? You fucking legend. How are you, mate?
We forgot to do something.
What?
Shout out Moosey for the artwork and show the artwork.
Thanks for the artwork, Moosey.
Yeah. Oh,
Wait.
are we going to be able to change it?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Should do.
We will change the artwork and thank Moosey retrospectively in the next episode.
We do need a title though.
Title?
Yeah, title.
It's in the game.
Um,
Or you going something Diablo related?
Do it again. I think
Do it again.
I think something Diablo related's good. We did spend quite a while talking about it after all, unpacking it.
yeah.
Caging has a good one.
It does the beta Diablo, as in BLOW.
That is actually
Ooh.
not bad.
That's really good.
Fuck, I'm good.
But do we
He's
really
fucking
want to
good.
take one of Caging Run's suggestions though?
Was that
Yo,
was that a Cajun
Kitty.
suggestion?
G'day, buddy. We did some talking about Diablo 4 tonight, Curdy. Cap's been playing the beta. Looks pretty freaking good.
I have been. I wouldn't lie to you. I simply wouldn't do it.
No, we're definitely not doing that one, Jim. Definitely.
Now,
not.
boys, I need to go and empty out a baby bath and wash some bottles. So I need to fucking skedaddle.
Did we get a title?
I just need a title.
Yeah.
What was the one you said?
I'm going to raid Lush 50. You guys happy with that?
Yep.
Yeah, fucking oath. I said, does the beta Diablo?
Are you typing it or am I?
I can type it if you want.
No, I'll go on. Does the beta?
Wait, is it the wrong command? Is it slash?
It's slash.
Fucking hell, I'm a streamer.
Diam.
You better be careful, Cage McGrunt. You never know what's going to happen when Dad's tired. All kinds of accidents happen.
Guys, just spam smorks.
G'day, Curdy. How
Smorks,
you going,
smorks.
mate?
Teddy.
All right, we're out of here. Thank you all.
Spam the smorks.
Spam the smokes. We'll see
Smoke
you
on.
next week.
See you,
Bye-bye.
Smoke off.
legends.